Biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and 0 due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during Value Bonanza, now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Extremely quiet weather pattern sticking around for the next few days. Clear straight through tonight with lows ranging from the upper 40s to the low 50s. Abundant sunshine, low humidity on Wednesday, highs upper 70s to near 80. We're all in the low 80s on Thursday with wall-to-wall sunshine. I'm Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, ready to serve.
For your free online visit.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's going to clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's going to mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood couple.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's going to sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
He's trying to make some joke about tailored clothing, and he says, I don't know, maybe you get your suits tailored too. I said, Chuck, what suit jacket would fit me that wasn't tailored? Does this look like a big and tall store kind of guy over here?
I don't know if they have little and small stores. I don't know.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this? This brings just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
That's right. Presented by First Security Bank. By Kirk Realtors, The Griffin Company. Pasco Air, Plumbing and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
You know, the hurricane's going on down here in Florida. There was a time when Weather Channel, when the Weather Channel was new and there'd be a hurricane, I would just watch for hours. I could watch the Weather Channel just on that loop over and over and over again. Well, this morning I get up, I'm going to check out the hurricane. So I immediately go to the Weather Channel, first time in forever. And
Next
all of
thing you know, 6 a.m.
30 minutes have passed. 30 minutes have passed, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get
starting.
I got to get around here.
I got my own show.
Yeah. And, but it, man, they're about to have a bad deal down there.
Well, it's emotional.
Oh, I know
for some
it
of
is.
these weather guys.
And I know it's a long way away.
Well, no, it's like tonight. It's like supposed to make landfall
Yeah.
this evening. But if you scroll through social media, and I know you do, Facebook
Wow.
particularly well,
Yeah.
but for others, Twitter, TikTok, whatever,
The new stuff.
you're seeing the weather, the meteorologists.
Oh, I know.
They're realizing the strength of the storm. It's like being at the dentist office and you hear, oh, crap, from the dentist as they're working on your mouth. And you're like, oh, that's not good. Never want to hear that from a doctor, right? Well, these guys know the science of the weather, and they're sort of looking at this and explaining it to you. And as they're doing it, they're scared.
It's just an incredible hurricane. It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either.
It did not
That's
sound
kind of wild.
good.
No,
But it
that
did
does
not sound
No,
good.
you're right about it. And here's the thing. When the locals are leaving,
Wow.
yeah, that was pretty powerful there.
That's just like, I don't know what you're saying, but if I'm there, I am out.
Yeah.
Get
When
me
the
out.
locals are leaving. When the locals are leaving.
Because they don't leave.
Because most of the time the locals are like, well, it's not like we had been through this before. But when they're leaving, then you can tell they're taking it seriously.
Well, and then you have the locals that are going to be on a sailboat, a 20-foot sailboat.
I'll
And
bet they
this will
won't
be
this
their
time.
No, I mean, there's a guy on social media that they interviewed on the news. By the way,
He's out on the water right now.
That meteorologist was NBC6 in Miami's John Morales. These reporters are interviewing fellas like the one I saw who are going to be on a 20-foot sailboat riding out his fifth hurricane, and you just think to yourself, dang, that's not a good idea.
Well, you've got to be a different breed of cat to do something like that. I mean, for us here, that's a foreign concept. I mean, we have tornadoes, but we don't deal with that sort of thing.
When you can see it coming.
Well,
for days.
And
but also, how do you get out?
Well, you get in your car and you drive 10 hours to a place that would normally take you to arrive at.
Right. There were stories yesterday of those trying to evacuate who went 60 miles in 4 hours. Like, there's nowhere to go.
Well, and
gas stations are running out of gas.
And that's why I say when the locals are freaking out, there's reason to freak out.
So Chuck got just caught up.
I did. I watched all that this morning. I woke up a little bit early, and don't you remember those days when, the Weather Channel was new?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I had less on my plate then, but I just watched for hours.
Honestly, like when it's not you, checking out the destruction from a distance is something we can't hardly quit watching. It's like people watch NASCAR for wrecks. When it's the rubbernecking that happens on the highway over nothing at times. When you just like, what's the holdup? And you drive by and somebody's got a flat tire. And people can't stop looking. By the way, I saw a deer on the way into work this
Did you
morning.
really?
That's always a good sign.
Yeah, it is a good sign.
It
means it's going to be a good
we've
day.
had
Did you make
a
eye
good
contact?
show. I did.
You got
I did.
deer
We had a
whisperer?
conversation.
it's scary. You can get up really close to deer now. It's almost like they're pets. And I don't think I would know what to do if they did come closer.
Well, you don't exactly live in a rural area, behind those gates. I mean, you guys have no hunting signs posted everywhere.
Well, they are family. Yeah. We just go out and feed them.
Yeah.
Just hold it in your hand.
That's what I meant.
You're talking about Clay Henry, who will be on the show later.
All right.
Big show today, Chuck.
Wait, it's an extravaganza, really.
It's a huge show.
Sam Pitman later today. Clay
in the
Henry.
History of our show.
That's
in
right.
the history of our country.
In
It's
the
a big
annals,
show.
In the annals of the Chuck and Bo show. This is right up there.
So we got Clay. We got Clay today.
Yeah, we do.
And what time's Clay? Let's see. It's in the
7
news.
o'clock.
So is he up early?
7 o'clock.
Already
He's up early.
Probably up listening right now.
Well, he's got a big day on the river plan.
And then the head ball coach is at 8:30.
Right. Do you see how many people watch the game?
Yes.
I mean, it's like the highest rated college game for ABC. Is that the way I read it? Highest rated
highest
so
on
far?
Saturday.
Highest on Saturday.
It's the 11th of the season in all of
Okay,
college football.
I got you.
But it was the highest. It peaked in the fourth quarter at 6.8 million views. Okay, just to give you some perspective, the Kansas City Royals and Yankees game drew 3.2 million. Arkansas averaged with Tennessee 5.3 million, and they peaked at 6.8. Now, why does this matter? One of the reasons is because when you're on the biggest stage, so of all sports on Saturday, you're playing Tennessee. You've got the A crew, Herb Street Fowler. That's why they brought the A crew, because they thought that's where they thought they'd have the most viewers. And you got on the stage and you looked good, and you won, and your crowd rushed the field. For those talking about not rushing the field, I will say this: football has become a television show, and when you rush the field, you become a better television show. What are all the videos being spread all over the World Wide Web? All the viral videos. Yeah, I know. Some people don't know what WWW means, Bart. I'm sorry. We're here to educate. World Wide Web. And viral's not something you need a shot for those listening on Facebook. So of all the viral videos, that's what you see. You see rushing the field. It creates, and by the way, that's why people rush the field, because you see this other places in big moments and big games. That was so significant in so many ways for Arkansas. We can sit in here in our bubble and talk about it all the time, whatever we think, great. That's our state. What are people outside of the state saying about Arkansas? Well, does it matter? If you want to be nationally relevant, it matters. And Arkansas took a big step in being nationally relevant. Now, it doesn't last you forever, but all you can do is take care of business that's in front of you. And they took a huge step in being nationally relevant on Saturday. If you go back to where they were in the offseason, to where they were at the end of that game, I mean, that is a massive climb. Massive.
I thought as a program they met the moment. And I mean that from the time you got out of your car until the time you got in your car and left. It was a big-time college football event. It was a beautiful day. The weather was perfect. I thought all the things that they put on in addition to the game, everything seemed to go off without a hitch. The parachutists were great. Everything was what you expect from an event. You can't just put on a football game and expect that to sustain the day. You got to have a lot more than that in the modern world of college sports. And I just thought as a program, they met the moment. And then ABC got lucky. ABC got lucky because there was an upset. And the Razorbacks played well. And they didn't have a blowout. And they didn't have people leaving the game at halftime. So from an Arkansas perspective, I don't think it could have worked out any better.
It also, being on ABC, takes you to more eyeballs.
It does.
You know, I mean, if you're on ESPN, that's great. But ESPN's just not as many homes as ABC.
ABC's over-the-air television. Yeah. And particularly in your major markets. It's, there are not as many people, frankly, that and I realize that we live in the internet era.
World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web is what I understand it's called.
.AOL.
But not everyone lives in that world, despite what we sometimes think. And that shows up in the numbers. It shows up in the numbers, particularly in the metropolitan areas for ABC, NBC, and CBS. I know that how you do ratings has changed, but that still matters a lot.
Is anybody listening to our show that only can watch games that they can get with their rabbit ears?
There's probably a few in the rural areas. Now
broadcast television, no cable, like it's an antenna, and you're getting ABC, CBS, NBC. Anybody watching the game only because you have that. Like if it's not there, you don't have it. Does that person still exist?
Well, I think he still exists, yes. Yes. I mean, I think economic conditions dictate some of that, to believe that there aren't people in a lot of areas that still live that way. I realize it's incomprehensible for some of us, but yes, I think there are people out there. Now, does that make up, is that the difference?
Well, I just find it
is that what puts you over the top?
I just find that interesting.
I don't think it's what puts you over the top, but yeah, I think there's still some out there.
I think
I'm
going to try that on Saturday.
You get the rabbit ears out.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go well. I can't
get a little aluminum foil.
I don't think I'll be able to figure it out.
I can tell you back from my early days in radio when cable was not an option. That this was a long time ago, but I can give you some tips there.
We give you all the history.
That's right.
We give you the horrific weather that's coming. We give you the TV ratings. I don't know what else you could want.
Full service.
It's whatever.
Full service.
What else would you like? The phone lines are open.
Mailman.
We're happy to deliver.
Yeah.
To deliver. 877-377-6963. 877-377-6963. All right, we're going to get to the phones. We'll do it when we come back. Good morning. It's Wednesday on the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations.
Hey, Chuck, I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Pascal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopascal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Pascal price check. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And Hog Noxious, our listeners just don't let us down. He said, Chuck, explain it to them. Smash or trash by saying swipe right or left.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we're inside of Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with my guy, Josefa. Today, it was the French Toast Turkey Melt, but other daily specials every single day.
Yeah, Ty, we just kind of want everybody to know that we're not just sandwiches around here. We have all kinds of different specials. There's always something different right here at Lily's Sandwich Shop.
Award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Don't believe me? Talk to Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911. In addition to AOG, remember, if you smell gas, act fast and always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
It's Ty Richardson live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. I'm here with my friend Gail Rainwater. One of the many things you guys offer is tuxedo rental.
Yes, we do a great business of renting for weddings and proms. What sets us apart from most other places that rent clothing, you get to try it on. You come in, we measure you, try it on immediately. And the reason for that is we carry everything in stock. You get to check the fit immediately. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, where it's fun to look good.
The Henry family laid the foundation for sports media in this state, and that foundation still stands strong to this day. The Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders knows a thing or two about a good foundation, and they're proud to sponsor Clay Henry's latest column. Be sure to check out the Parade of Homes happening on October 4th through the 6th and 11th through the 13th from noon to 5 daily. Don't miss Clay's columns every week, only on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas right on time runs a frisbee catching dog.
Let me just say this about the guy throwing the frisbee, too.
He was out throwing the dog.
Oh, he was. It's like, quit showing off, man. The dog's the show, not your arm. I mean, it's this guy, the whole routine, every routine. He was like, let me show you how far I can throw a frisbee. It's like, dude, people aren't there to watch you. He's over there raising his arms up like he's the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, dude, you're running this dog to death.
You want to stay out with your fancy friends. I'm telling you, it's gotta be the end. Don't bring me down. No, 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 no. I'll tell you what's wrong before I get up the floor. Don't bring me down. Don't bring me down. Don't bring me down.
But I mean, that is one of the. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that bit that you did on the dog.
I'm a friend to dogs.
Did you
man.
go meet Ben Herbstreit?
No, I actually looked for Ben, but I didn't get down to the field before
Where was
the game.
he? Was he in a luxury suite?
I never actually saw Ben upstairs. I know he was on the field, and by the time I think they got, look, the ESPN people, they don't show up till like right at the end. Right before the kickoff.
Yeah, they flew in.
They're flying in from all over the place. And by the time we had shut the doors, they were.
You were well.
By the time they came in, we were on the air.
Yeah.
And so I never actually saw the dog in person.
I thought it was a brilliant move by Herbstreit to stay relevant in the face of Pat McAfee. McAfee's just taking over the world, and Herbie's like, I got a dog. And I'm going to take it.
And a golden retriever.
A
well-behaved dog.
Herbie's awesome, though. I mean, he really is. He's just
he
great at his job. And to be able to do what he did and travel the country, like from Cal Berkeley that morning doing game day, and then doing the game on Thursday night on Prime, and then flying all the way to Fayetteville and just getting on the air and doing that game. It's like, man, that's getting after it. Ryan in Hot Springs. Good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, buddy. The reason why I called was to answer your question about the antenna thing that still exists. Yeah, my father. In fact, the Tennessee game was pretty much the first full game he watched all season.
How about that?
He's been listening some, like when he's been going out fishing and stuff. But he got burnt a long time ago with all the cable stuff. So he said the heck with that. And he's been seeing, some of the way everything's going with like DirecTV and stuff. He ain't fooling with it. If he can't watch it on his antenna, then he ain't watching it.
See,
there's a lot more people like that than you think.
We're here to educate kids. It's not, this is how some people go. So what they do.
It's amazing. You never know when you start a show what's going to strike the nerve, what's going to set the tone. Judging by the text and everything,
Antenna.
it's that antenna thing.
It's the antenna.
Chad's in Fort Smith. Chad, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
What's up? What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hey, Bo, how you doing, man? I'm glad you're back, buddy. It's been a while.
Good to hear from you.
Hey, yeah, I do actually stream sometimes myself. Very, you know what I mean? I don't watch the games unless they're, on local, like you were saying. Now, occasionally, I will watch it, if it's a big game. But a lot of times I like just going out the announcers on the TV. When they're for another team, it's very, sometimes it's very apparent. I have to go outside and listen to the show.
You have to go outside?
Yeah, well, I mean, in my garage.
That's cool. Hey, I used to do that.
How many people watch it and listen in their garage?
That's how I fell in love with radio.
And Phil too, when he's calling.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up
you,
listening
Chad.
to Chuck on the radio call baseball games. I'd get work done around the house, get outside, mow the lawn, all that kind of stuff, and listen to Chuck call baseball games.
And I grew up listening to
back when I was a kid.
Jack Buck call Cardinal game. Yeah, back when you were little.
I've always been little. Let's not get into
yeah.
that.
Yeah, well, that's
Jeez, that'll be fine. Thanks.
That's why I said it.
877-377-6963. Sam Pitman's going to be on the show later. He was, when you have a bye week, you do some interviews, like some national interviews.
Right.
That's when you go on some of the. He was on Sirius XM yesterday, talking about his team.
This program's never been about me. It's never been about Sam Pittman. It's been about the University of Arkansas, the state of Arkansas, and the kids. So, when you take yourself out of it, it's easy to make decisions. If you're making decisions for what's best for the team. And so that part of it was very, very easy. I tell you, when you have your team, when they go to interviews after the games and they are regurgitating exactly what you said during the week and the process, and you've got your team. When they don't, when they never mention anything that the head coach says in the meetings, and then you don't have the team. But whenever they're talking like the coaches are talking, they believe in you and they believe in each other. And you go back and you look at interviews that our guys did after the game, and there's a lot about we made history and we've got a story, and those things are important. And once you get everybody believing and pulling in the right direction, it's very, very powerful. And I've felt that ever since, the spring. And ever since we brought in these guys from the portal and the guys we had returning, I've felt that way. And you have to give our coaching staff, not myself, our coaching staff, a lot of credit there, because they've really done a good job of relationship building with these young guys.
Sam Pittman, Sirius XM, yesterday.
I've always believed that if you can read the locker room, you can read the team. Talent's going to vary from club to club, team to team. But you can tell the most, I think, about a team from the culture in the locker room. And that's always telling. He has done a remarkable job, even last year. Now, it unraveled a little bit at the end. But he's done a remarkable job since he's been here, keeping the locker room together. I think it's the greatest challenge coaches face now in the NIL era. The greatest challenge they face is keeping the locker room together, because it's so easy for it to become divided. You think about just an adult's life. How many adults become jealous of coworkers based on how much they're making? It happens every day. Can you imagine what that's like with a group of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds? It's magnified even 10 times greater. So the ability to manage that, the ability to keep all those guys operating as one, that's a really, really difficult thing to do. And they have to know you care about them or you don't have a chance.
The entire offseason, the conversation around football was how many games does Pittman have to win to keep his job? It wasn't about him keeping his job. It was about people not believing that this program was going anywhere. It felt so bad. It ended so poorly last year that the overwhelming conversation was not about when, not about if, but when. with Pitman. Like, it was a foregone conclusion that his work here was done, and it was a matter of when they were going to relieve him from his job. You had seen the best he had to offer. That was the narrative. What he has done from that moment to this moment is nothing short of as good a job as anybody in college football did in the offseason. So just point me a better direction. Show me where it's gotten better. You know who wins Coach of the Year awards? Teams that were really bad last year. Sometimes you go 13-0 or whatever and you get a Coach of the Year. But what most Coach of the Year, when they're handed out, it's usually somebody who did something remarkable, like take a really bad situation and turn it into a good one. It's the midway point of the season. So we're at the halfway point. That's all we can really reflect on right now. We don't have the rest of the year to reflect on. But Chuck, from that moment, from the offseason, those moments, the entire offseason, I mean, it was almost apathetic. And then they hired Petrino, and people started getting a little bit more excited. And then they still got to go get players, and they still got to bring in players from the transfer portal. But you don't really know who any of these guys are. So you really don't have a lot of excitement because you're not sure what you have. It's not like recruiting where you go, you got 5-star, 4-star, 5-star, 4-star, 4-star. Oh, wow, we got a top 10 class. Wow, be excited. Wasn't that? You don't know who you have.
I think the conversation in terms of how many wins he had to have, I think that was an outside world conversation. I don't believe that was a conversation Hunter Yurachek was having.
I'm talking about the fan base.
But to your point, and to that point, the reason that I say that is because I don't think it mattered internally. I don't think they felt that kind of pressure in terms of I've got to win this many games. I think the feeling was that we've got to turn this thing around. Now, that's a broad statement, but you know when something's turned around, and you know when it's not. And I think the feeling was that obviously you got to win games, but we got to turn around the tenor of this program. Through 6 ball games, they've done that. Now, the meat of the matter is still out there in front of them. But to this point, no, I don't think anybody out there has done a better job. I don't think you can look at anyone and say, yeah, they've far exceeded what they were a year ago. Now, 4-2 is not the finished product. But, you know, when you think about where they were at the end of last season, it is pretty remarkable.
Well, let's go here. Arkansas has not opened SEC play 2-1 since Petrino in 2011, his final season. In the last 12 seasons since that time, the Razorbacks have been 1-2 through 3 SEC games 5 times. In 12 seasons, they've been 1-2 5 times. 7 times they've been 0-3. So in the last 12 years, that's your program. So we can all qualify or disqualify or talk about, well, we don't know what's going to happen the rest of the year. But the first half of the year, it's the best season you've had in over 12 years.
I think the thing that turned some fans off was Oklahoma State. They've not gotten back on since. But I also think there's a group. And I'll give you an example. We talked last week about how, you know, there are still far more people that are on the bandwagon than off. That was evidenced by the size of the crowd on Saturday night, the way they rushed the field. I mean, the fans are still on board. The same people that were not on board going into that ball game are the same people this week that are saying, and will say right now to everything you just said, yes, but. And then they'll go to Oklahoma State, and then they'll go to Texas A&M. I think the vast majority, though, as was the case last week and as evidenced by the crowd, I think the vast majority of Razorback fans right now are thrilled to death with where they are. They're happy that the game against Tennessee was viewed by more people than any other college game in America that day. They're excited about coming to Fayetteville to watch them play LSU. Look at the price of tickets and the price of hotel rooms. What they've done, and I know this because I've got friends and family that are planning to come to games. Look at how the prices have jumped through the roof the last 48, 72 hours. It's going to be a great weekend. And as they keep winning, there are going to be more great weekends. So Yes, you've got to have results on the field. But I think we just live in an era where those who are against everything are always going to dominate the discussion, and those who are not of that type personality, you're just not going to hear them as much.
Yeah. Well, the vibes changed. And
there's no question.
I'm just telling you the way it is, like in terms of, wow, look at what they've done in the face of all that noise. And yeah, there's more to do, but we're at the halfway point season. I mean, here, raise a glass. Get your Yingling up. Here, you ready?
There we go. I'm ready.
Here's the
Early
Arkansas. 4-2.
Can't have a drink at 6:32 in the morning.
If you don't start early, you can't drink all day. Right. 6:32. Sorry, kids. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Not but one.
Man, I've got some good news. Sweatinum Cosmetic is not just for females. Turns out us guys want to look and feel good too. Why be tired, lethargic, and overweight when we don't have to be? Sure, diet and exercise matter, but there can also be a lot more going on. For example, low testosterone is a real thing among many adult males, not just the old guys. I've heard about the weight loss shots and the low T ads before, and I've been skeptical. But then I stopped by my friend's office, Dr. Jeff Sweatinum. He showed me around that first-class facility and said, here's what we're doing for guys. It's called the Sweatinum Edge. You make an appointment, get a free evaluation covering 4 potential issues: hormones, weight loss, hair loss, and skin. Find out where you are and decide if treatment is right for you. Log on to sweatinumcosmetic.com, sweatinumcosmetic.com, and click on the Sweatinum Edge, or call 479-966-4174 and tell them you heard about the Sweatinum Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show.
You say, well, that's a tough thing to say. Well, we live in a tough world.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to feature Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry in his column on hitthatline.com. Clay's column features his thoughts on the biggest Razorback stories. Clay Henry's column is brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. When you renew your Arkansas hunting license, you renew so much more than the hunt. You renew traditions. Hunting license season is wide open. Today's today to pull the trigger on the most essential part of the hunt. Renew your hunting license at huntnatural.com.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
The tailgating scene on a perfect fall day in the natural state. Calling the Hogs with 75,000 plus as the Razorbacks run through the A. And all the things you love about football game days are near. Football season tickets are now on sale for marquee matchups against LSU, Ole Miss, and longtime rival and new SEC foe, Texas.
Slant, caught, touchdown, Arkansas.
Experience game day on the Hill and secure your seat and tailgating space by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com or by calling the Hogs at 800-982-HOGS.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I used to have a friend that said if deer hunting was really a sport, you like chase it down and kill it with a knife. You wouldn't shoot it with a gun.
Good Lord.
I'm just telling you what he said.
What are we doing this morning?
I'm just telling you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That's another one. 877-377-6968.
He's the opening act. Yeah, he is. He'll probably just go an hour with us.
Think you will?
We always evaluate that segment by segment. David Cersei, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's awful good to hear from y'all this morning again. Listen, I'm the kind of guy I believe, like Mr. Valvano said many years ago, we should go through all the emotions in one day. And I honestly try to do that. I like different things. I like to feel up. I like to feel down. I like to listen to Mel Torme. I like to listen to AC/DC, just whatever. But the YouTube post popped on my phone after the guy that does the walking talks, Mr. Biddy, after the game. Well, it was a big celebration. So I watched it a little bit because we don't get to see that very much. So what do? I go back 4 years ago and watch him after Powerhouse, was it Western Kentucky, beat us 49-13. Boy, you want to see a celebration. They achieved that with the great heralded quarterback, Arkansas cast-off, Ty Story. You want to talk about a bottoming out for a program. Now, listen, people that don't like Mr. Pitman, I also saw a few years ago when a reporter asked Bobby Bowden, how have you achieved such longevity and success? Without a hesitation, he said, I hire great coaches and I let them coach. I'll never forget it. So that's what I put his hiring of Bobby Petrino one notch below Mr. Calipari coming, because our program was in danger of being stagnant for a while. It was one notch below Mr. Calipari coming. It saved our program, and it's exactly the punch that we needed. And I don't want anyone to downplay the significance of what's going on right now. Thanks.
All right, David, thank you. It's interesting because there are different types of hires. Bobby Petrino, everyone knew what he could do, and everyone knew what he had done as a football coach. There was obviously the dynamic at play that he'd been here before as the head coach. But even if that had not been at play, you were hiring an experienced coordinator, a guy who'd been an NFL head coach. Taking a hands-off approach was the only logical thing you could do. Travis Williams, a little bit different. In fact, maybe a lot different. Up-and-comer. Hasn't been a head coach before. Your job as a head coach then is, number one, to coach the coach, develop the coach, and then help bring out the best in him. help develop him, not necessarily in terms of, hey, think about this defense or think about that defense, but this is how you lead people. This is how you get people to follow you. This is how you get players to play for you. All of that's a big part of head coaching. It's not just making the fourth down decision. That's what we talk about all week. So these were two very different hires, and they've been very different types of coordinators in terms of where they started from. So I think that's one of the interesting aspects to being a head coach is there are coordinators that you keep a hands-off approach. Now you have dialogue, and I think he and Petrino talk every day, obviously. But there's an open dialogue there. But I think with Travis Williams, it's also been developing Travis Williams as a coach, and the head coach has a hand in that. And I think we see all of that developing. But it's just been different, whether you look at the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball.
Sometimes things go so bad that you got to get it so right. Like when you don't want to deal with that anymore. Like it wasn't necessarily that last year. Who had on their bingo card that Sam Pitman, of these three people, would have the best relationship with Bobby Petrino? Kendall Briles, Dan Enos, or Bobby Petrino? That seems like the best coordinator head coach relationship from an OC standpoint that he's had.
Well,
and I don't know if you would have guessed that.
And both of them get credit for that.
Agreed.
Both of them get a.
And I think that building from a coaching staff and from a player standpoint is getting along as well as it ever has.
I agree with that. And,
they're truly seemingly in it together.
I never worried about that dynamic. I know a lot of people did. And you're on some national shows, and occasionally when you're not available, they call me. But
I give them your number.
I know the outside world, particularly what happened with Petrino and Jimbo. People wondered, would this football marriage work? And I never had a doubt. I didn't know how many games they'd win. I didn't know what it would mean in terms of wins and losses. But I never worried that there would be internal problems and internal strife over this because I've worked with both of them, and I know what kind of football people they are. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about them as men. That would be a stretch. But I've been around them, and I never thought it would be a problem because these are football coaches from football trees, so to speak, and they know how it works. And I think they've worked exceptionally well together.
Very professional is how I would describe what's happened this year. Gary in Bentonville. Gary, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Gary, did we put you to sleep? Did you drop your phone and your coffee? My coffee's so good, by the way. It's just.
Come back, Gary. When it's more convenient. We'll be quiet.
Call back. We can't hear you. I don't know. But I like a good fresh cup of piping hot coffee.
I know.
I can't put it down.
You have to have it first thing in the morning because I do. It's the first thing I do.
It's a game changer.
I
can survive, but I'd rather not have to.
No, I'm out of bed to the coffee maker.
6:45. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric, the Fayetteville Auto Park, Flight by Yingling, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, and the Swetnam Edge at SwetnamCosmetic.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And I want someone to slide into my DMs. It's just
I'm not sure I'm entirely comfortable with this.
It sounds appealing to me.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013, with popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA. There's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
I want to make a couple of points here because I have the floor. All of it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is Northside head football coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to feature Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry and his column on hitthatline.com. Clay's column features his thoughts on the biggest Razorback stories. Clay Henry's column is brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. When you renew your Arkansas hunting license, you renew so much more than the hunt. You renew traditions. Hunting license season is wide open. Today's the day to pull the trigger on the most essential part of the hunt. Renew your hunting license at huntnatural.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Don't leave me with this. The Beachy Boy, fight for your right.
You gotta fight.
You gotta fight.
There it is.
For your
Yeah.
right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was out of the field. Fernando Carmona Jr.
That's pretty awesome.
He was the offensive lineman of the week in the SEC. Left tackle.
Singleton was the freshman of the week.
Yeah.
There were some others, too. I
Yeah,
think
how about that? You come in and
well, hey, man,
it's
I mean,
about
he
the
leads
moment.
the drive.
It's not about how long you play.
That's right.
It's about the moment.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's a pressure situation for a young player.
Can we just talk about how different the offensive line looked?
Yeah, they look a lot better.
From the
they
A&M
really
game
did.
to that
They
game?
really did. They, and college teams can make a lot of improvement in a week. And I thought they made a lot of improvement. And, it was not one of those games where you walked away. Now, first, Tennessee's got a good defense, and I'm not taking anything away from them. But you didn't walk away thinking, wow, I mean, we survived the fact that we don't have a good offensive line. I think people walked away feeling like, hey, they played a really physical game, played a lot better, made plays. When the offense makes plays when it has to, it's because the offensive line's making plays when it has to. And so I thought a lot of that was a great sign.
If you can play like that up front on both sides of the ball, you got a chance to win every game left on your schedule.
I think every game out there, I don't think we're going to go into – now, obviously, if you go on a little 2 or 3 game skid, let's say you come off this open week and everything falls apart. I don't believe that's going to happen. But, if it does then, all bets are off. But right now, when I look at the schedule, I think every game out there, I don't see a game that you say Arkansas has no chance to win that game. I don't believe that.
Well, that was the way people thought about certain games.
It was the way they thought about the one Saturday night.
Yeah.
Most people were honest. It's the way they felt walking into the stadium. And I'm talking about the people wearing red.
Results will change your mind. Or at least it should. I mean, in the absence of facts.
Oh, I think it does.
But when you have facts, you get another thing.
I think it does.
This Derek in Jonesboro. Hey, y'all are on the money this morning. Thank you. People love the Hogs, but we needed to see more. Nobody expects national titles every year. At least they shouldn't. But to be, all caps, competitive is all most desire. I'm eating crow and loving every bit of it. I thought we were a 3 or 4 win team. I love that I'm wrong. Love the show, guys. Love Chuck especially.
Well, he didn't say that. You said that. But, I think most people, and it's fair, wondered after a 4-8 season what it was going to be like. Totally fair. But I also think that even if you had a preconceived notion going into the season about where they stood or what was going to happen, what you thought was going to transpire, there's got to be a problem. These guys are certainly overachieved. There's one way to go. It is not done yet. All this will just be wasted breath if it falls apart in a second. But I don't see signs of that. Mark put out a poll question. You didn't get a little extra. That's right. So that's the win. And you're not going to go. He's going to go. The question was, has Arkansas season results? 83% said yes. In the history of our country, have you seen a poll like that? 6:55. Good morning.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. The McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The tailgating scene on a perfect fall day in the natural state. Calling the Hogs with 75,000 plus as the Razorbacks run through the A. And all the things you love about football game days are near. Football season tickets are now on sale for marquee matchups against LSU, Ole Miss, and longtime rival and new SEC foe, Texas.
Slant, caught, touchdown, Arkansas.
Experience game day on the Hill and secure your seat and tailgating space by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com or by calling the Hogs at 800-982-HOGS.
We want to make sure that you can read some ludicrous lyrics on his 47th birthday
I can
today.
do that one. Roll out, roll out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine with highs around 80, east winds under 10 miles an hour. Starry skies tonight with lows around 50. Sunny skies for Thursday with highs in the low to mid 80s. Stay mostly clear Thursday night, lows in the lower 50s. Sunny through the weekend. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Come celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is having their big fall sale October 10th through the 13th. There will be special pricing and door prizes along with our experienced, knowledgeable staff to help you pick the perfect RV for your family. Come see why we've been voted the best of the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. So mark your calendars for October 10th through the 13th and don't miss out on the big fall sale. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my $R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to feature Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry and his column on hitthatline.com. Clay's column features his thoughts on the biggest Razorback stories. Clay Henry's column is brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. When you renew your Arkansas hunting license, you renew so much more than the hunt. You renew traditions. Hunting license season is wide open. Today's the day to pull the trigger on the most essential part of the hunt. Renew your hunting license at huntnatural.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Back in the day, when they would put your name down for all the money that you gave to the athletic program, nobody wanted it to be out there because they didn't want the people back home to know that they were giving more money to sports than their church. And so
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this? Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Let's look at another excuse for this jackwater.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. By Kirk Realtors, the Griffin Company. Passcode, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
How did moldy cheese get its own?
The same way the rest of them did. I don't know why it's significant.
National Curbs Day.
Well, that's where we're going to bring Clay Henry in.
Okay.
Joining us to tell us what that's all about. Friend of the show, Hall of Famer. And Clay, where do you think that comes from?
I got no answer for that. I probably need to think about that for a half a day. Can I get back to y'all? I'll send y'all a text. You know I will. You know I will.
That could mean a lot of things. I mean, really.
So Chuck, I've been sending all these texts just to Bo. I'm going to put you on the group text, and so you'll get them too.
I did see one of your group texts a moment ago. I just picked up my phone and saw where you are on, in fact, line 2.
No, but I mean, I'm going to give you more stuff.
Well, no, what do you
like when I'm updating my garage, I'll send pictures. You know, like
I'm not really.
like as we built our garage about 6 years ago. I'd sent daily pictures of, like every nail hit, Oh yeah. I mean, and they were,
that's what real friendship looks like.
That's when I found out that you could block a text, like you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you thinking of me, but you don't have to do that.
Well, with Clay,
okay.
You take the good and all of it.
Do you
you take the garage photos, but then you take the football insights during the game.
Do you get fishing photos and stuff like that?
Yeah, occasionally.
Every morning?
Occasionally, but Clay's so used to catching big fish that he doesn't send pictures every time.
See, I've got this image of Clay in the fly shop by himself with a lot to say and nobody to talk to. And
I got the dog.
And you got
the dog looks at me. She looks at me like, "Would you just shut up?"
And so Clay starts just tweeting stuff out, texting stuff out.
No, it's not tweeting. There's no tweeting.
We need you on Twitter.
Texting and Facebook.
We need Clay.
Yeah.
And I just have this vision of a guy with a lot to say, and you're the one that gets
So, Clay,
the text.
what do you have to say coming out of the historic upset of Tennessee?
Well, first of all, it was great fun. I mean, from the very start, we hear a lot of bitching about, like the way the game is managed, from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
I thought this one was great. I mean, I loved every bit of it. I mean, I don't take any notes. I'm just sitting there, but in my press box seat, which is pretty nice. And I just taking it all in. I did take some video of the Navy jumper with the flag, "Don't tread on me." I think that's what it said. I mean, that's just, I put it on Facebook.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it was perfect for me. I mean, he's right in front of me, big as Dallas. I mean, it was just wonderful. Yeah. So I just thought that, everything about it, I thought the fans were awesome. The atmosphere was good. I thought the Arkansas band was good. I really, really liked at the very end where they trolled the Vols and played Rocky Top on the loudspeaker. I mean, that's class. It's kind of like when Arkansas swept LSU. Was it? I don't know if it was last year or year before. They played Neck at the end. Which is kind of the LSU student theme song. They played that. That's like, oh boy, they're that's sticking the needle in pretty good.
Yeah. I'm looking at your video now. That's good. I mean,
Yep.
I thought you did a good job of
Next level. Yeah.
Next level. Yeah. And it's right there on. If you don't follow Clay Henry on Facebook, you should. So
You get there's a lot of fish video.
he's got to accept your friend request, but I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
So Clay, what do you think moving forward? What do you think about these guys now?
Well, I wrote something Monday. I mean, I think it's going to be, there's going to be wrecks. I mean, you looked around the SEC, and Alabama loses at Vanderbilt, Missouri loses, gets clubbed by Texas A&M, which, by the way, that was glorious. I mean, I'm not an Aggie fan, but to see Eli just get hammered and have no answer. They ask him, well, what are you going to do? Well, first of all, we're getting our butt kicked. Yeah, you were, coach. And it just kept keeping on. I mean, it just and then Arkansas. I mean, and they had it was the most watched game on ABC. And for all the people that worried about losing the CBS, deal, ABC, you're on prime time. That's what it's all about. That's what this change to ABC is, to have the primetime game, and it was the number one watch game. And but there's going to be some ups and downs, and they're going to win some games, and it's everybody's good. With the portal, you can reload quickly, and you are going to, to me, it's not good to have the portal and people disappear, but it's also awesome that everybody has got a chance to have a team.
You mentioned something to me, and other people mentioned, this game's going to do so much for recruiting, which I get, and it does a lot just for marketing the program.
They take your calls, yeah.
But
yeah.
How much has this changed, Clay, from where we were 2-3 years ago when we thought about recruiting because of the transfer portal? And maybe now when you talk about recruiting, you're talking about the transfer portal and guys that are kind of out there already looking that you may not even know are looking, who aren't happy with where they are, and they see that game and they think, when I get in the portal, I hope Arkansas gives me a call.
I think you're spot on. And that's, it's all about marketing. It's all about your brand. It's what you do at the moment. And that's why I said I think it was important they did all those things right. It just was a fun night. Kirk Herbstreit's got his dog, and I love that. It was, down on the field, and everybody's going gaga over that, over Ben. But it's all that stuff adds up to a winning moment, not just, the score on the scoreboard, but it was just we've had all these 11 o'clock games and this and that, but it's just like this is just coolness to me.
I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to just, throw a fire in the middle of just celebrating a great win, but sometimes you got to point things out when you're not in the heat of the moment. When we talk about Little Rock games, one of the issues is, or games at AT&T Stadium, when you play in this game on prime time on Saturday night, and you have that victory, you see the University of Arkansas. You see what it's like to go to school there. You see the environment. And you can't do that if you're not playing there.
You're right. And I was in the third quarter, I was moving around to some suites to see some friends. And yes, I don't have to really cover the game. I can just kind of
bourbons out?
No, I just was going to see friends and ran across Chancellor Robinson and Scott Verity. And I told them, I said, this is what a great recruiting day for the University of Arkansas. I mean, just it just everything was great. The tailgating was great. The weather, I mean, it just, everything just fell in place. As you said, it's important. And it could have been, it could have been not so perfect, so it's don't take it for granted that it worked out that way. That there was everything about the game. Congratulate, the coaches. And I talked to somebody from Tennessee. I'm not going to say the name. You'd know it. I talked to somebody, in yesterday, because I wrote on him, and I didn't ask for his take, but he said one side created, the other side did not. I think that's a tip of the hat to both coordinators. And Bobby Petrino, he got him some plays now, and they didn't take advantage of all of it. They're a little off here, a little off there, but he got him some plays, and Taylor Green executed some of them. I mean, there were some throws that were next level, where he got himself clear of the rush, and I want to tell you, they got some dudes up front. For them to put up those yards against that defense, I don't think everybody's going to do that the rest of the year. You think, oh, they get exposed, Tennessee. Tennessee's good. And then defensively, they were so good scheme-wise. They took away everything that Tennessee had been doing to get those explosive plays. They got one at the end when the quarterback bounced out of the pocket. They had two guys on the receiver, and he just kind of floated away from him, at the very end. The quarterback got the ball to him. But they took away all their deep action that they had been. That's their deal. They've hit more deep passes than anybody over the last 2 or 3 years with Heupel. And they played cover 3. They never got out of it. They didn't, they played the run with 5. And if you had told Tennessee Arkansas is going to play the run with 5, they said, well, we'll run for 400. Well, they couldn't. I mean, they just kept whipping. Last play of the game, Quincy Rhodes spins out of a block, comes up through the middle, flushes the quarterback. He's looking, but he's got Eric Gregory chasing him from the middle of the field. That 330-pound dude was rumbling. And all at once he realized, I'm fixing to get smashed if I don't get out of bounds. And then the game's over. I mean, it was, you can criticize their quarterback for not throwing it up, but he was running for his life. I'd be running out of bounds too if Eric Gregory was chasing me.
Well, here's the thing that I think a lot of people wonder. It's great as it was on Saturday night. Are they going to be good enough to maybe not have a night like Saturday night, but there's still the LSU game. There's still the Ole Miss game. I think that this team may be good enough to sustain this and actually begin to play well at home against good teams. But I just wonder what your thought is on that.
Yeah, so winning changes the dynamics. The winning of this game. So you play as hard as you can, and then you don't win. Well, then you fall back a little bit. But this gives you a chance to coach them hard. Gives them a chance to show them all the points they left on the field, and then the critical aspect of all this last 2 weeks, they played 2 great defenses. The guys they're playing going forward aren't quite at this level. I don't even know if Texas is at this level defensively. So you got a chance to gain some momentum in the open date, correct some things, and keep cleaning it up. I think that, just remember the first year of Bobby Petrino and Casey Dick was just struggling his butt off trying to, figure it out week to week. They finally benched him at Mississippi State, played his brother. Then he came back against LSU, and it all fell in place. And I think you're going to see that with a lot of guys. Receivers are running option routes. They've got to figure it out. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're not on the same page. Linemen are figuring out. They're learning, this is a big playbook. They're running a lot of stuff. And they practiced them all, but they haven't polished them all. But they're going to keep polishing, keep getting better. I think that they're going to win some more games. And I think Malachi Singleton, he was a little nervous, but all at once it just all at once clicked, and you saw him, and he's got a little fire to him. I think they believe he can make plays, and they may need him in this next game. I'm not sure exactly, how healthy Taylor Green will be with that. I don't think it's a serious knee injury, but there's probably some swelling, and he's probably going to have a hard time practicing for a couple of weeks.
Clay, can we keep you for another segment? I mean, we just have more.
So this is how this works. Yeah, okay. If I do 2 segments, it costs you double.
Okay, that's fine.
And I mean, double of nothing is not really expensive.
2 BLTs. That's not a problem. So
okay.
Clay Henry's here. You can get on the phone if you want to talk with Clay. It's a chance of a lifetime, quite frankly. 877-377-6963. We're brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer that's brewed for the drinker who doesn't want to compromise on flavor or taste. It's a light beer with that Yingling taste. It's Flight by Yingling. For the go-getters, there's a new go-to. 12 ounces of premium refreshment from America's oldest brewery. Only 2.6 grams of carbs, 95 calories, the 4.2% ABV. It's a premium refreshment, 6 generations in the making. Your ice-cold flight is waiting. Don't just raise a glass. Raise a Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 717, good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've been waiting to say this for 5 years. Sterling in Center Ridge.
This is quite the coup that they have put together. Bo and Chuck, this is a dream team.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors.
Thanks, Bo. I'm being flooded by friend
my radio
requests.
career. You remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
We are possibly entering what could be a golden age in Razorback athletics.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Dave will be attempting his greatest stunt yet. He will jump over 100 boats, ATVs, cars, and trucks, all at Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders. Here he comes now. Adventure Dave, why did you choose Adventure, Oklahoma for this stunt?
Well, Tom, Adventure, Oklahoma is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else would let me jump over their boats and ATVs.
Adventure, Oklahoma by Auto Finders has it all. Brand new, used, that's right. CF Moto, Arctic Cat, and Segway side-by-sides and ATVs, all with a free 5-year warranty. Only offered by Adventure, Oklahoma. Plus, G3 boats, Suncatcher pontoons, and Falcon bass boats with delivery up to 100 miles away. The lowest priced pre-owned vehicles in the area with 90 days to your first payment.
That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Destiny.
Yes, and what a jump it'll be.
No, the jump is tomorrow. This is Destiny.
See y'all later. Well, until then, visit Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com.
Your journey starts here.
End of season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's VV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers low pricing and great interest rates,
479
for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers equipment in Fort Smith and Coto, where if you pick orange,
do you want me to call the Fort Smith number?
Yeah, just call
Come celebrate
Yeah,
autumn
okay.
in the
All right.
natural state with
Yep.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is having their big fall sale October 10th through the 13th. There will be special pricing and door prizes along with our experienced, knowledgeable staff to help you pick the perfect RV for your family. Come see why we've been voted the best of the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. So mark your calendars for October 10th through the 13th and don't miss out on the big fall sale. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I got up this morning early watching the sunrise. I got it run through my veins right now. You know what I cranked up? I cranked up a song, Whatever It Takes by Image Dragon. And the song, you know what? It symbolizes grit and determination. And I want to send that song to our team of players. Because you better find your grit and determination. You can win this game as Jordan Harris. Win it for your coach. Win it for our fan base. And more importantly, win it for yourself.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes. The Chuck and Bo Show.
But somehow I started too early.
We don't know the cadence.
Well, right. I don't know exactly how it happened, but I guess it was Sunday night. I walked away from the television, and when I walked back on, the American Music Awards were on. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I've not watched the American Music Awards in, a long time. And but right as I walked by was video of Imagine Dragons winning an award from like 2013. So not only did I not know that Image Dragons was incorrect, I didn't know they'd actually been an award-winning band.
We're here hopefully to educate and, give you some historical perspective from time to time. But you know what, Chuck? We're also here to learn.
Well, we are.
Apparently, we had some issues, I don't know, with the audio. We weren't aware of it until we went to break. I think that listeners were able to hear everything Clay said, which is the most important thing.
Right.
But
we were muffled.
We've moved Clay to a different portal. He's transferred into the portal,
Mm-hmm.
and we have him here now for another segment. But you can still call if you want.
We just bypassed the traditional route.
Text Clay. We got some really important questions. Chuck has one in a second. The listeners are responding. They're saying, "Ask Clay about this." One of them is, "Can you explain why the paint wasn't better on the field on Saturday?"
I think it's because they use crappy paint.
Wow. Yeah.
I think it's a lack of rain.
You don't think the weather and the fact that we haven't had rain in a month?
I think the rain and all
Drought.
the players
That's
on
what
the
it's
field
called.
before the game.
Drought.
But the paint,
Yeah.
you want the paint level to go up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they want it to sparkle. They want some sequence on it, right?
It is amazing that you come out of a game like that, and that's the question.
Well,
I noticed the Walmart logo was looking a little peaked out there.
Clay,
Yeah, they changed it actually, didn't they? It was a kind of a less obtrusive Walmart logo.
Was that a different
Way
logo
out.
than the first game?
I don't know. It was
I think
stomped out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it didn't
So,
look. It didn't
I
look.
mean,
It didn't pop as much.
yeah, but you can say criticize this or that. How about those drone shots of the stadium where it just looked like
I thought that was
it just
pretty
looked, it was just like a bright shining, like it was the Emerald City or something. How about the Cardinal City? But it just, everything about that stadium, all the things they've done, it was. I got some Tennessee fans that haven't been there in a while, and they were stunned. And they were stunned with Northwest Arkansas. They said it's now their favorite stop. They travel to other stadiums, other towns. But yeah, I just think that everything about that, except for the faded Razorback, I guess they can add some paint to it. So
Chuck has another one.
Well, I mean, first off, you're talking about field storming there and the drone shots, social media. And, for me and Clay to be having a conversation about social media may seem a little bit odd.
Hey, I got Instagram now, guys.
Oh,
wow.
What's your handle?
I think it's like fly tired clay or fly fisherman clay. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But my point is,
some people. Hey, and then the other thing is y'all like join Clay on Facebook. I'm getting flooded by friend requests. So the power of your challenge to fans.
well, you can't get over 5,000. Once you get to 5,000,
no, he's got a fan page.
I'm pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got unlimited
Are
stuff
you
now.
are you creating demand on your
I
Facebook page?
I don't know. I don't know how all that stuff
You can friend
works.
Chuck too. You
No.
can find Chuck and Clay.
I'm over the limit.
Let's set their
I'm over the
Facebook
limit.
accounts on fire today, people.
I'm over
Bring
the
the
limit.
heat to Facebook.
Sorry I brought it up,
Bring it.
actually.
Bring
But,
it.
No, I mean, that'd be fine.
Chuck wanted to ask you about fishing.
Well, one of our dedicated
No, he
listeners,
doesn't.
one of our texters, wanted the report from this morning.
It's probably Bruce Pradko.
I don't know who it was. Who's what's the report over there today?
Yeah. So this. I mean, I can fill up the next segment on this if you want me to. I did notice that, like, my column now sponsored by Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. It's like, whoa. But I went yesterday and I caught plenty
The same
for about
reaction.
2 hours. Caught my share. But this is a time of year where the lakes are turning over and it reduces the dissolved oxygen in the rivers, and the fish are a little lethargic. Now the browns are moving up the river to get ready to spawn, so you've got a chance to catch a brown, which is what everybody wants to do.
Does the
I
hurricane
actually
affect
saw
the fishing at all?
it does in Florida.
Where
Yeah,
is
it
that?
doesn't-
I just didn't know if any
Yeah.
sort of atmospheric
We've been in
pressure
drought.
made its way here from there.
So our lakes are down. Now we're in a high pressure. We've been in a drought
This is all
for a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw our friend of the show, Steve Graves, was with my son-in-law Christopher Bolden on the river
There
yesterday.
you
He
go.
caught a big brown, I think.
As long as
Saw him at lunch.
as long as we're
I'm sure
totally
they
off the rails. Does a full moon affect fishing?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely, it's bad.
Really?
it's bad, real bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but
Well, I mean, what makes it real bad?
The fish don't bite.
Really?
that makes
They
it bad.
don't bite.
That's-
Okay.
That's is
I
that
got you.
is that when you took
Well, I
Chuck
think they
fishing
might
after
feed
a full
at night.
moon?
They might feed at night or something, but it changes the dynamics a little bit. I mean, I used to be an old wives' tale, but if you fish enough, you start to realize, hey, that's what it is. It's not good.
Clay,
You might go night fishing.
This has been fun. It's we got to hit we're in all kinds of trouble. We got an hour till Sam Pitman comes on. We got to get all. By the way, Pitman's coming on at 8:30 if you want to write a column on it.
On just the fact that y'all had him on, or you want me to write about what he said?
Probably more about the great questions that Chuck and I ask. But yeah, either way, it's fine.
I like
be
those
great.
questions, Chuck, after the game. They are riveting. Yeah.
That coach's show.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Getting the parting
All right,
shot
yeah,
in.
yeah. He's had a cup of coffee now.
I'm just saying, I called that play, Chuck. Yeah, what did you say there?
Good God.
There you go. It's fantastic. Clay, thank you.
All right. y'all-
See you, man.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Hall of
All right.
Famer is DMs are open. His Facebook page is you can just request to be friends.
Did you
He's got
notice?
Instagram now?
Did you notice how I came right out of the gate with a profanity?
Oh yeah,
Right out of the
Right
gate.
out of the
I mean,
gate.
right out of the gate. With
I don't
a
even
profanity.
think he's aware.
I think it's the filter thing.
He's unaware
It's
that he
the
came
filter
right
thing.
out with a Lee Corsoism.
I mean, he did. I mean, it's right out of the gate. Let's just get the cussing out of the way.
All right, bring the heat. 877-377-6963. We're still basking in the glow of the win over Tennessee. At some point this week, I think we should get more into what the rest of the season looks like for all of the SEC. Like, how do you handicap things at the halfway point? We've talked about things changing for Arkansas. How's it change for the rest of the league? And that's relevant from an Arkansas perspective because it may impact where you think they're going to finish based on what everyone else has to do the rest of the way. You can text, you can call 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
Who's going to win the SEC? What do you think?
Well, I think Arkansas, we say this from time to time, is going to have a lot to do with it. I mean, they're playing the top teams in the league outside of Georgia and Alabama. I mean, they're going to play Ole Miss, they're going to play LSU, they're going to play Texas. And remember, Texas is going to have 2 losses.
Remember, we wrote it in stone yesterday. Are you on that limb with me, or am I all alone?
I don't think Texas is going undefeated.
Okay, so
I don't
somewhere between 1 and 2 losses.
Now I will say this: Texas has a very easy schedule. I don't know if they bribed the conference office or what, but I mean, you look at their schedule, you look at Oklahoma's schedule, you can tell who got welcomed into the SEC. It was Texas, so they've got a really easy schedule by comparison. But they're not going to go through this thing unscathed. They could lose twice. I don't know if they're going to come to Fayetteville with a loss or not. If they do, it might come Saturday. They still got to play Kentucky, I think. Got to play Georgia. They'll play A&M at the end. So no, they're not. They're not going to waltz through this thing.
Did I mention I feel great again this morning?
I know you do.
My energy level.
I can tell.
We got our treatment at Swetnam the other day, and I don't want to talk about you and your energy level. I mean, that's your own thing. But for me, my energy is great. We're back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Everyone remembers the Florida A&M game, and later became known here in Pulaski County as Rattlergate.
Man, I've got some good news. Swetnam Cosmetic is not just for females. Turns out us guys want to look and feel good too. Why be tired, lethargic, and overweight when we don't have to be? Sure, diet and exercise matter, but there could also be a lot more going on. For example, low testosterone is a real thing among many adult males, not just the old guys. I've heard about the weight loss shots and the low T ads before, and I've been skeptical. But then I stopped by my friend's office, Dr. Jeff Swetnam. He showed me around that first-class facility and said, here's what we're doing for guys. It's called the Swetnam Edge. You make an appointment, get a free evaluation covering 4 potential issues: hormones, weight loss, hair loss, and skin. Find out where you are and decide if treatment is right for you. Log on to SwetnamCosmetic.com, SwetnamCosmetic.com, and click on the Swetnam Edge, or call 479-966-4174 and tell them you heard about the Swetnam Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I like craft beer. I do. You guys always think I'm like the biggest dork on the face of the earth.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Together we stand as tall as the Tower of Old Maid. Our memories are etched in stone like names on Senior Walk, and our blood flows Razorback red. For 100 years we've been hog wild, and today we continue the tradition. We are Arkansas Razorbacks.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain, or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Watch every hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Huge mums in 10-inch pots, only $8.99. Get instant savings of up to $50 on select Ego, Craftsman, and Still outdoor power equipment. And check out our great deals on chainsaws and blowers for fall. Order online now and pick up in-store or curbside anytime. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning to this great fan base. And I'm still walking on sunshine, baby, because I knew we had a team with a God-given talent to go in, woo, to Jordan Hare. And what do? In front of a sold-out capacity Tiger Den crowd, we leave Jordan Hare. Woo! Raiders, baby.
Who's Eddie?
I don't know. Let's put out an APB for
Eddie, get up, man. You got to get going. Wednesday, no time to take a day off. No days off. Robin is in Fort Smith. Robin, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Robin.
Good morning, Hog Country, right?
Hog Country. Absolutely.
Yes, I travel with my work, so I'm on the road a lot. So you guys are on my station. And today I wanted to call in about, I am season ticket holders at the Razorback game. I don't miss them, whether they're winning or losing. And but I wanted to tell you that where our tickets are, we're in the touchdown club. And so the guy that was on there a minute ago was talking about the leapfrogs that came into the stadium. They parachuted in.
Oh, yeah.
And so then they come into the touchdown club because anyone that's honored during the game, that's where they always stick them in there.
Right.
So they were in there, and I got to talk to the guy who had that flag. He was pulling the flag that said, "Don't tread on me." Mm-hmm. He said that the flag actually caught on fire and burned him up his leg. And he's done that many times, and it had never happened before. And he had a burn up his leg from doing that. Wow. So it was an incredible sight. And the other guy was talking about how he had really been impressed with that. But anyway, I was just going to let him know that guy's leg got burned.
Dang. Hope he bought him a glass of whiskey.
How did it burn? I don't know.
Did he burn it? Did he burn it on the field turf or?
No. He said that when they light that, his little light that is supposed to be like, it's kind of like a firecracker type thing that goes under, that pushes the flag and makes it kind of beam while he's in the air. And I think it's like pyrotechnics.
Yep.
And he said that they lit it in the plane when he was hanging out the door of the plane. And he said just the wind somehow caught back around, and he said it went up his leg.
Wow.
And burned his leg. And
Dang.
so I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, thanks for sharing, Robin. Experiences from the Touchdown Club.
Hey.
Like we were talking about people that were on the field yesterday. Like, there's an experience from the north end zone in the Touchdown Club. That's what happens.
I think there were people that came over the railing there, even in the Touchdown Club.
Let me ask you a serious question, Chuck.
Please.
If you're jumping out of an airplane, where does getting burned rank on the list of things that you're concerned about?
Well, it's on there, but it's not at the top of the list.
That's not something I would be thinking about. But okay. Well, look, sometimes you get really behind the scenes here on the show. Moses in Fort Smith.
Hey, Chuck and Bo, I just came calling. I'm wondering what y'all are thinking about after how the offensive line held up at Tennessee. Is it going to be this good the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's a great question. I thought the offensive line looked almost unfamiliar to what they look like, unrecognizable. And I think part of that, and Pitman talked about it a little bit after the game, the offensive line coach Mateos and Petrino clearly got together and decided what they needed to do to change what was happening. And it obviously worked. And I felt like the scheme was something the players had confidence in, and it'll be interesting to see how that evolves going forward. But Chuck, they I don't know if, you want to get technical, if their splits were tighter, if the way they called plays, if the way they aligned, but they looked completely different. And I think part of it was they decided to come out and run the football and run right at, and what you got to do against a team like Tennessee or A&M is you got to run at them. You cannot run side to side. You can spring one every once in a while, but you got to figure out a way to run between the tackles. And if it's only 2 or 3 yards, it's only 2 or 3 yards. But that gives your O-line a little confidence. And whatever they did, whatever the adjustments they made worked. And I think you expect that to continue as they move forward because it's something you found that you can do well.
I thought the first drive was really important, even though they only got a field goal. I know there was the penalty by the offensive line at the goal line, and that basically turned a touchdown chance into a field goal possession. But they kept the football for over 8 minutes, ran 16 plays, if I'm not mistaken. I thought they gained a lot of confidence in that drive, even though they had to settle for 3 there. Without that drive, I don't know that you get the drive when they're down 14-3. Drives, in my opinion, are what show the mettle of an offensive line. Can you do it snap after snap? Over the course of a drive, you break the other team's will. Doesn't mean they won't get it back the next possession. But during that possession, you break their will. That's why long drives that eat up time are important. And I thought they gained a lot of confidence from that possession. Confidence is a powerful thing. And no, I don't think I would find it difficult to believe that, there was just one day last week where, 6 months of work and the light just clicked on. I don't know that happened. But I do think what happened early on made them think that they could do it again.
When you go get your butt kicked like they did against A&M, when you get embarrassed, when you feel like you get exposed, there's no better time to get the attention of your guys. And they responded. 877-377-6963. We're brought to you in part by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, the Fayetteville Auto Park, Flight by Yingling, Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, First Security Bank. Bank better with First Security. They're the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. We're going to take calls and text coming. I don't know what y'all were doing over there, but it seemed exciting. Bart and Edward were over there like they were showing something.
Well, they got new desks.
Everything okay?
They've got new desks. Today's a big day. They're excited.
Very big.
We found video of the parachuters on Saturday, and you can see when one of them hits the ground, it does appear that
he's on fire.
There's a situation there.
You think that helped the atmosphere? I mean, you think? I mean,
maybe.
Wow,
it was lit.
It was
lit.
It was very lit.
It was lit.
According to one of the
entirely too lit.
It was literally lit.
No, that just sounds so good.
Lit
coming from you.
Yeah.
Club Lit, Chuck Barrett tonight.
That's right.
We're got to figure out where it's going to be, but it'll be live somewhere. 7:46. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think that allowing him to call in occasionally is a healthy reminder of why you don't like Texas.
Hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, now more than ever, it's important to partner with a well-trained real estate professional, someone who understands all the ins and outs of the game and makes sense of all the things we read about in the real estate market every day. That's why I've partnered with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, from the very beginning. And that's why I recommend them to you. I remember the first time I bought a home. I didn't have any idea what was going on. They did, fortunately, and they guided me through the process. They listened. And perhaps that's the most important thing. You want someone on your side of the table who understands your needs and who listens. Now, they've got offices in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Fayetteville and Bentonville. They're in the River Valley as well in Fort Smith. You hear us talking about their office in Branson. You're going to see their yellow signs all over town. And you can log on to WeichertGriffin.com. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state. And you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
Now is the time to join Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
Arkansas wins it. Here they come.
Documentaries, exclusive interviews,
people everywhere, and then next thing you know, it's just everybody's packed.
Insider access, and an incredible library of films.
Arkansas leads it by 3.
A membership like no other.
I don't think it gets any better than this.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps now.
Start your free trial today at hogsplus.com.
The tailgating scene on a perfect fall day in the natural state. Calling the Hogs with 75,000 plus as the Razorbacks run through the A. And all the things you love about football game days are near. Football season tickets are now on sale for marquee matchups against LSU, Ole Miss, and longtime rival and new SEC foe, Texas.
Slant caught, touchdown Arkansas.
Experience game day on the Hill and secure your seat and tailgating space by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com or by calling the Hogs at 800-982-HOGS.
What's your Oaklawn? Is it hitting the slots for fun and high fives? Or having a round at Silk's Bar and Grill before the action? Play your way at Oaklawn's 24/7 non-smoking casino. With 1,500 slot machines, live roulette, craps, and blackjack, a sports book where you can watch and wager on your favorite games, and live entertainment at Pop's Lounge, you'll never run out of fun. It's time for more winning and more excitement at Oaklawn. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank y'all for your show. It's a great format in the morning. It's really nice to have knowledgeable people to wake up to and listen to. So thank y'all.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team could give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
End of season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's VV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We have a playoff in college
Are
football.
there too many dorks voting in the top 25?
I'm not
poll?
going to be disparaging about geeks and dorks and whatever.
I didn't say geeks.
But these guys don't watch the games. They don't. They don't watch the games. You can't watch all these games. And by the way, if you spent 5 minutes with some of these people, have you read a newspaper? With all due respect to our local media, who does a great job. There are people all over the country that can't get stats or names right.
The Chuck and Bo Show. 86, that one, too. I get a new one in there.
What about the polls, though? Speaking of the polls, in all honesty, after all the things that happened this past weekend, I mean, there's only, I guess, 1-2 loss team in there, but Tennessee's only down to 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if Tennessee's a top 10 team. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think they are.
Do you?
I mean, we'll see how
I
they
don't
go
know.
play against Florida.
I don't
this
know.
week. They haven't played well against Florida.
No, they haven't. Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Georgia. Wow, that's
There'll be more movement this week.
Yeah. Oh, there will.
I mean, it's going to be
I think
volatile.
There's going to be movement every
It's
week.
going to be volatile, and I'm also fascinated by the committee and how they do things because there's going to be some movement once we get into those ranks.
What are we, 2 weeks from that, roughly?
We're getting close.
Couple weeks
Yeah.
away from the first.
Also,
I almost said BCS playoff rankings.
right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of feels a little bit
Yeah, I
like
know.
that right now.
Yeah.
Also, Halloween's coming up.
I
Are you
know
ready
it
for
is.
that?
I am ready for that.
I
As
saw.
ready as I'll ever be.
I think what I'm going to dress up as this year. I'm either going to be Scotty Scheffler or the cop that arrested him.
I like that.
I mean, that's
clever.
That's where I'm starting.
That's really solid.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm
Clever.
starting.
I wonder if anybody else does that.
That's good.
I wonder if
Starting
anyone's
there.
thought of that.
Well, I got it from somebody else.
I think it'll
saw
be
it on
popular.
social
Yeah.
media.
Well, what I mean is there are going to be millions of people that do that.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I will predict millions of people
if
go as either Scotty Scheffler or the
Millions.
cop that arrested millions.
Millions.
Yes. Millions.
Millions?
And millions. Yes.
72 friend requests for Clay Henry in 10 minutes when we had him on earlier.
Watch out.
Go to
Watch
Clay
out.
Henry's Facebook, request him as a friend. Just do it. He's all excited that he's getting all these requests. He's also on Instagram now. I don't know if he's got that, blocked where you got to request being a friend of Clay's. Be careful, a lot of bathing suit photos of Clay wearing a bathing suit on his Instagram. That's why I
Catching a
got it.
fish.
That's why you got it. Rick and Barling, quickly, go ahead. What do you have?
I just want to say I'm still flying high as well from the win. My seats are in the second row of the south end zone, and you're darn tootin' I jumped that wall, 58 years old. I'm just a little kid, and ran out on that field. So just y'all were talking about it earlier this week, and I tried to get in, and, I think Bart had me blocked or something, but anyway,
Not
it was a
purposefully.
fun time.
Yeah, it was an accident. We apologize. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate you weighing in. Thanks for the call. Sam Pittman's coming up in 30 minutes.
8:30.
By the way, if you want to get some apologies in via text, those of you that were critical of Sam Pittman's offensive line, they got that fixed last week.
They were a lot better. I mean, they were a lot better. You play like that, they're not done
My
winning.
thing is,
they're
if
not
you're-
done winning.
If you're going to gripe about it,
I
and you're
agree
gonna
with
complain
that.
about it,
I
come
agree
back
with
and say,
that.
hey, look, they fixed it.
I
Yeah, how
agree
about
with
that? They fixed it. It's like, hey, you got a problem at your house, you call the landlord. Do you tell them, hey, thanks for coming to fix it?
I told you I'd get that fixed.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
You know, for me, when it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's just one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas: Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. And they don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you every step of the way. So whether it's a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or maybe just treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what odd time is for you, but yeah, you got here before the show started.
Whatever. Hey, have you ever seen anyone that takes so much pride in being the first one here?
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine with highs around 80, east winds under 10 miles an hour. Starry skies tonight with lows around 50. Sunny skies for Thursday with highs in the low to mid 80s. Stay mostly clear Thursday night, lows in the lower 50s. Sunny through the weekend. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
It's that time of year again. The Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders Parade of Homes is right around the corner. For 2 weekends, October 4th through the 6th and October 11th through the 13th, you can tour stunning homes featuring innovative designs and cutting-edge craftsmanship from noon to 5. And don't miss this year's Showcase Home, open every day from noon to 5 for the whole parade. The Parade of Homes map, a list of sponsors, and this year's online digital magazine with the details for each home, go to FortSmithHomebuilders.com.
Bow season is underway, and Jelco Outdoors has all your archery and hunting equipment to help you bag that big buck. Select new compound bows by Bowtech, Elite, and Hoyt. Save $200 off. Beartech crossbow packages, now only $329.99. Save $200 off select Raven crossbows. Clothing, boots, tree stands, saddle equipment, feeders, nut grub, and grunt calls. Jelco has it all for you. Good luck and safe hunting. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to feature Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry and his column on hitthatline.com. Clay's column features his thoughts on the biggest Razorback stories. Clay Henry's column is brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. When you renew your Arkansas hunting license, you renew so much more than the hunt. You renew traditions. Hunting license season is wide open. Today's the day to pull the trigger on the most essential part of the hunt. Renew your hunting license at huntnatural.com.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I said, Chuck, what suit jacket would fit me that wasn't tailored? I mean, there's no other option. I mean, does this look like a big and tall store kind of guy over here?
I don't know if they have little and small stores. I don't know. Maybe they do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this? Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Let's make another excuse for this jackwater.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. Why Kurt Realtors, the Griffin Company. Passcode, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
Sam Pitman coming up at the bottom of the hour. We were talking about the offensive line before the break. I got to say this. Saying that an offensive line has gotten better, saying that an offensive line has improved, doesn't mean that you're not going to miss blocks. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have plays where the other guy beats you. Sometimes people think playing good means winning every play. That's not how it works. There's still going to be times when that defensive lineman's just going to whip you. But you obviously want to eliminate that as much as possible, and you got to stay away from the big moment where it costs you possession of the ball. But I think sometimes people believe that when you say an offensive line is improved, it means they're not missing blocks anymore or they never get beat anymore. There's not an offensive line on earth that doesn't get beat multiple times during a course of a game. And there's no perfect product out there in terms of that area of the football field, but they're a lot better than they were.
Well, they certainly looked like a completely different team physically than they did the week before against A&M.
Look at the time of possession. When you win time of possession, even if you don't score, you control the tempo of the game. And I said this Monday, go look at how the Vanderbilt-Alabama game played out in terms of time of possession, and you look at the way the Arkansas-Tennessee game played out in terms of time of possession. Arkansas had 21 minutes of time of possession in the first half. They only had 3 points, but they had that time of possession advantage, and then they carried it over into the second half as well. Good offenses can't score if they don't have the ball, and you can't keep the ball for that long unless your offensive line's doing a good job.
That's real sports talk, kids.
Wow.
Real sports talk.
Real talk.
By the way, I want to talk to the kids for a second because a lot of them are on the way to school right now, being forced to listen to this show by their dad or mom. And first of all, you should love your parents for that. Okay? Love your parents for that.
You'll thank them one day.
You'll thank them one day. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. Today is National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day.
That's
kids,
what you're really going for.
Take your parents to lunch today. Now, here's how you play this. You look at your mom or dad right now in the car on the way to school, and you say, I can't go to school today. I got to take you to lunch.
They're just going to DoorDash you lunch.
I've just created some conversations in the vehicle on the way to school. Yeah. Mike is in Fort Worth. Mike, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I've got a dilemma. I called a few weeks ago regarding the charity basketball game with TCU. We've got a 14,000 seat stadium at Dickies Arena that right now no tickets are available anywhere. I've called the ticket offices at Arkansas and TCU, and Dickies Arena says that, yeah, they'll be having the tickets soon, but we're 21 days away from that game. I'd like to see 90% of the crowd Razorback. Does anybody or your listeners have an idea of where those can be purchased? And Chuck, are you going to be broadcasting that game?
Yes, we will go to Fort Worth and do the game. We're going to do both exhibition games, Kansas game in Fayetteville and the TCU game in Fort Worth. It's TCU's game, and it's not a regular season game. So it's obviously not part of their season ticket package. It is an exhibition game. And even though we are excited about it, it is still just an exhibition game from a scheduling standpoint. So the answer to your question is they'll be available when TCU decides they're ready to put them on sale and not a minute before. I wish I could tell you something different on that, but it's their game. Now, I think we'll hear something in rather short order about that. I think the place will be full. I think there'll be a lot of Razorback fans there. It's going to be full when they play Kansas. You think about this. They will have played Purdue and Kansas in back-to-back seasons and exhibition games in Fayetteville, and those are among the two largest crowds of the year.
I feel Mike's frustration. Mike's been working on this for 7 to 10 days or since they announced the game. Mike's a guy that wants to go. He tries to get ahead of it.
I know.
He's trying to plan. He doesn't want to put this thing off and be trying to get it last minute. He's been trying to get ahead of it, and there's not a dang thing he can do about it, and that's frustrating.
Here's what happened to Mike this morning. His wife said, "Hey, have you checked on the tickets for that ball game yet?" That's the story behind the call right there.
It's the one thing he can't get done on his to-do list because it's completely out of his control.
Hey, I know you raked the yard and mowed and got everything fixed this week, but have you checked on those basketball tickets?
David, listening in
Japton is in Madison County.
Japton in Madison County, David. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chuck.
Well, if it's not a misprint, I know where Japton is.
Moonshine Distillery.
There may be a little.
Booger County.
Moonshine Distillery. Here he is.
Booger County. Baby.
David, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. You're talking about the offensive line, and I watched, and yes, they were significantly improved. I'm curious as to whether that is them learning this system with all the transfers coming in, or it looked to me like maybe we simplified the looks for not only for them but for Talon, and maybe we're able to control the ball and control the turnovers a little bit and simplify that. Did it look like maybe Bobby had changed up a little bit there?
Well, I think they committed to running the ball. I don't think there was a concerted effort to say, "Hey, we're going to simplify things." No, I don't think that part happened. But I do think they made a concerted effort to run the ball, and we saw that on the first drive. You know, somebody's going to set the tone in every game. Something's going to happen early that is the tone setter. And even though it was not dramatic, I thought the fact that when Arkansas kept the ball for as many plays as they kept it on that first possession, they established the fact that we will be able to block you to a great extent tonight. It may not be perfect. There are going to be times where you whip us, but there are going to be enough times where we're able to hold our blocks that we move the football, score enough points to win the game. I thought they established that early. I thought that was the tone setter at the beginning of the game. Again, nothing dramatic, but I thought the offensive line, the first half of the first quarter, that was the dominant position group on the field.
They were committed to grinding it out early. And one of the reasons is because you want to keep that explosive offense of Tennessee's off the field. And that's just part of the game plan. And I thought it was really smart. And the defense happened to play extremely well on top of it, which there's been a lot of talk about Travis Williams having not run that defense yet this year. That those are the kind of things that you should get excited about as a fan. Like all the things you complain about when things aren't going well, we don't make in-game adjustments. They made adjustments at halftime. They did. We don't, we can't week to week. Everybody knows what we're doing, or we're not good at it, and they make adjustments and they improve at these things. I mean, those are signs that things are going pretty well. Like we can all make predictions about the rest of the season, but we'll see how it plays out. And we know how unpredictable college football has been throughout the year. But when you see what this team, these coaches have done, Chuck, from 1 week to the next, those are adjustments. Those are moves made, and they paid off.
People use that word adjustments a lot when they analyze the game. Yeah,
buzzword.
It's one of those buzzwords. The truth of the matter is halftime adjustments, and I've heard Pitman talk about this and other coaches. Halftime adjustments are, that's not as big a thing as it was before, because with the iPads, you're able to make the adjustments real time throughout the game. But the adjustments that really have a profound effect, I think, on the outcome of a ball game, those are made first in the coaches' meeting on Sunday night, and then they implement them on Monday. And the thing that you must do is that you've got to run something. You got to do things your team can do. You can't come up with some idea. You can't come up with a scheme that your team can't execute. So I think the real adjustments come early in the week and the way you coach them during the remainder of the week.
Can we do ball talk for just a second?
Well, I don't know.
A little more ball talk.
We can fake our way through it, man.
A little ball talk. Think about a coach working his tail off on Saturday. Okay. He's worked all week to get to a game on a Saturday. The game ends on Saturday. And you have, in some cases, less than 24 hours before you figure out your game plan for the opponent you're going to play 7 days from right now. And you got to have that game plan ready by Sunday night so you can figure out how you're going to practice all week. Some of you think you grind at your job, and I'm not saying you don't. But there's just hardly any time to do anything other than get done with the game and get ready, because they start winning. If you're going to win the game, you start winning it on Sunday. And that is a fast turnaround to get ready for next week's game. So for Travis Williams to have that right, they got help. I mean, they got guys scouting stuff and bringing them things and all this. But I mean, you gotta make up your mind on Sunday. You don't get to work all week, Chuck, and then on Thursday say, I think this is the scheme we're gonna run. You got to have that ready in less than 24 hours from your previous game.
You're right. You have a lot of information at your disposal. You pre-scouted in the summer. You have coaches who are assigned both
ball talk,
full-time and GAs and quality guys. You've got people who are assigned specific teams. And I mean, that's what's in their notebook. And you take all that information, but you also, as Travis Williams did, you watch the games that they've played, and sometimes you play a hunch and you think, I think this may work. And in the case of, and they didn't go with 3 down linemen every play, but they didn't need to. And that wasn't the point. But you're right in that, Sunday night, Monday, that's when that stuff really happens.
Not a lot of time. T-Will is going to be on the show tomorrow.
That's what I hear. It's the word on the street.
Big week for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah.
We got Sam Pitman coming up at 8:30. You're here. You, the listener. Some of the kids that are going back home now because it's take your parent to lunch day. Good. What a week. What a week to be alive.
National
What a
Courage
week.
Day. Yeah.
Pitman coming up at 8:30. Travis Williams tomorrow. You can be right now. 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, first and foremost, congratulations on the official launch of the Chuck and Bo Show. I want to know, how did you guys decide which name went first, Chuck or Bo? Was it a flip a coin?
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978. Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
We bring in players. They didn't grow up with the Woo Big Chili. They don't bleed hot red. They bleed money.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bow season is underway, and Jelco Outdoors has all your archery and hunting equipment to help you bag that big buck. Select new compound bows by Bowtech, Elite, and Hoyt. Save $200 off. Beartech crossbow packages, now only $329.99. Save $200 off select Raven crossbows, clothing, boots, tree stands, saddle equipment, feeders, nut grub, and grunt calls. Jelco has it all for you. Good luck and safe hunting. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Huge mums in 10-inch pots, only $8.99. Get instant savings of up to $50 on select Ego, Craftsman, and Still outdoor power equipment. And check out our great deals on chainsaws and blowers for fall. Order online now and pick up in-store or curbside anytime. Find more everyday low prices online at JaegersHardware.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based grams.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Back to Save Sports Radio.
Sam Pitman's coming up at 8:30.
Yes, he is.
We're assembling questions as we speak. If you've got one and you want to text it in, we may get to it.
Then again, we might not.
Well, it depends.
Depends how good the question
How
is.
does that work at the Catfish Hole? Did you pick those on the Sam Pitman live show?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah,
are,
you pick them.
Yeah, they're it's a concerted effort.
What's the
Group
worst
effort.
question that you've ever drawn out of the hat and said, "Yeah, I'm not going to ask that one"?
Oh, there have been a few here and there.
Bold, or just not very good.
Both of them.
Bold and not.
Yeah,
very good.
both. Well, there have been some that were bold, and there have been some that were not very good. And but that's most of them are good questions.
Obviously, we'll ask about Talon.
Yeah. Ask about the offensive line.
Yeah.
We'll ask them about that.
But if you want to get in, you can just shoot us a text, 877-377-6963. Let's go to Farmington. Tommy Tice in the Farmington
Home of the Cardinals. Nathan, what's up?
Hey, man, not a lot. Hey, I just want to call in. Had a couple observations on the football team. A couple things I've noticed all year, even in the losses, they played much better, like complementary football. I think one of the reasons our defense has done better is because they hadn't had to be on the field all the time. You know, I noticed in some of their losses, they led in time of possession, they led in yards, and I just think they're doing a good job of that this year. I think it's allowed both units to play better. So that's one point I wanted to make.
Point.
And then the other point is Braylon Russell, man. I think that guy. I think Bobby likes big backs, man, and I think if that offensive line gets going in the fourth quarter, that sucker's going to be hard to stop. So it's going to be kind of fun to watch.
Agreed. Yeah. That's been Coach Petrino's, philosophy for a long time, run to win, at the end, if you can. I mean, as impressive as anything to me, and those are great points. Thanks for the call, was Arkansas's ability and Petrino's ability and the offensive unit's ability to come together and figure out a way to put together a drive when it's 14-10.
Well, when it was 14-3.
Well,
and became 14-10.
But then when Talon went out after that, yeah.
And they got a field goal when it was 14-10.
That second half when it was 14-3, all of that. But with the backup quarterback to figure out a way to calm him down. I mean, that's the worst spot you could imagine being in as a backup quarterback. Game's on the line. You haven't really been in there. You're not getting the majority of the reps all week. And you feel it's all on you.
And the offensive line was playing well. And, you think about what if we were talking about the line, I'll brag on them a little more. What if Singleton had come in and the offensive line was just having an awful day? What would have happened then? Probably wouldn't have won, truth be told. You bring a quarterback in like that, and I think, as you were alluding to, Coach Petrino did a really good job of, dialing up the plays that he could make and the throws that he could make. But even then, you've got to be protected. And it's not a finished product by any stretch of the imagination. And sometimes I think people think when you say that, something was fixed for a day, that it's going to be fixed every moment of every game that you play moving forward. May not be the case. And again, just because you're a better unit doesn't mean you're still not going to get beat on certain plays. But I thought the entire sequence at the end with Singleton and look at the blocking on that tunnel screen. That was a critical play. And I thought at that point they were obviously good enough to get the ball down the field and score a touchdown and beat the number 4 team in the country. And that's pretty good.
It's real good. And we'll talk to Coach Pitman about it coming up. Also, what was the difference with the O-line against two great defensive lines, A&M and Tennessee? What was the difference from one week to the next? We'll get into that and a lot of other things with Coach when we come back. We're brought to you in part by Blakeman's. Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, the moments that matter. And at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. And that's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes way beyond the ordinary. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find the perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. Because at Blakeman's, that's where your search ends and your journey begins. Blakeman's, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Rick's in Fayetteville. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a privilege to talk with you guys, and I love the Razorbacks.
Man, I've got some good news. Sweatinum Cosmetic is not just for females. Turns out us guys want to look and feel good too. Why be tired, lethargic, and overweight when we don't have to be? Sure, diet and exercise matter, but there could also be a lot more going on. For example, low testosterone is a real thing among many adult males, not just the old guys. I've heard about the weight loss shots and the low T ads before, and I've been skeptical. But then I stopped by my friend's office, Dr. Jeff Sweatinum. He showed me around that first-class facility and said, here's what we're doing for guys. It's called the Sweatinum Edge. You make an appointment, get a free evaluation covering 4 potential issues: hormones, weight loss, hair loss, and skin. Find out where you are and decide if treatment is right for you. Log on to sweatinumcosmetic.com, sweatinumcosmetic.com, and click on the Sweatinum Edge, or call 479-966-4174 and tell them you heard about the Sweatinum Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Just thinking, what is a Pirates' favorite college football team?
Say it, Bart.
Arkansas.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
We fought back. We took a punch, and we answered back.
He's going to go! Johnson's at midfield, and there he goes! 98 yards. Keith, I saw it, but I'm not sure I believe it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices, gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Come in and enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's going to clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's going to mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood couple.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's going to sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Listen anywhere at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. And now, Chuck and Bo.
Great time to be a Razorback fan. Coming off a big win against Tennessee on Saturday night. You can't stop looking at the aerial shots.
Oh, those are the best ones, the drone shots.
Coach Sam Pitman joining us on the Chuck and Bo Show. Coach, are you still basking in the glow of Saturday night at all?
Well, basking, no. Happy, yes, but we got to get ready for LSU. So, no, I'll probably be happy about that one and for the kids and the state for a long, long time. But yeah, we're moving on. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Take us back real quick.
Yeah.
For what you can share, how was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
Man, it's an old broken record. My hip's so sore that, the only remedy, I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there, maybe help it out a little bit. And we had a house full of folks when we got home. I got home about midnight maybe, and like everybody, and sat around and had some really good conversations with my family. My sister was here and my wife's family, and it was just a lot of fun. Those moments, obviously, if we could do them every week, we wouldn't have had a 25-year drought on, what happened Saturday night. So you want to take it all in and enjoy it. And certainly did. It was a humbling experience. It was a lot of fun.
Coach, as you say, you don't have as much time to celebrate as everybody else. Turning your attention to LSU, balancing it with the open week and the fact that guys want to get healthy, particularly your quarterback.
Yeah.
How do you work all that over the course of the next 3 or 4 days?
Well, Chuck, and we just kind of made it up when my first year here, we didn't have a bye week, and well, actually every week was potentially a bye week, and because of COVID, the next 3, what we did, we won. Beat Mississippi State, which was 17. We went to Auburn, I believe, the next year, won that one, and then last year we went to Florida, won that one. So we're staying with the same identical schedule that we did before. And Chuck, the biggest thing is to get your players back on the field. And so yesterday was a walk. Film and walk. Monday was also film on LSU. Your mind can be strong. We got to get prepared mentally, physically. We don't have to do the banging this year or this week, but mentally we have to get prepared. So then today will be a practice in spiders, and then tomorrow will be a practice in full pads. And then they'll have off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll come back in as a staff Sunday evening to review the Ole Miss LSU tape and see what's new in there, and then go for a regular week next week. But our key is we were so beat up going into the Tennessee game that we've got to get some guys back, and that might include Kudus, who hadn't been playing. We hope we get him back. Miguel Mitchell now seems to be healthy and ready to go. And so those things that we need to get done. Braxton's a possibility. So we could get a lot of kids back that we haven't had for the year and that we haven't had for the last 2 weeks.
Coach, obviously a lot of people wondering about your quarterback Taylor Green. What can you tell us as far as an update? I know it hadn't been that long, but what can you tell us so far?
Well, we're hoping that he'll be ready for LSU. We're also hoping that he'll be ready by next week to practice. Those are still up in the air just a little bit, Bo, but we feel confident that we can have him back. It's just we're not positive that will happen, but we certainly need him. Malachi did a wonderful job, but Taylor's our number one quarterback for a reason, and Malachi certainly earned his respect that he got because leading that last drive down there to score, that was big time, and so we're very fortunate that we have two good quarterbacks, but we obviously need Taylor back healthy.
Coach, people have been asking, about the A&M performance by the offensive line and the Tennessee performance by your offensive line. We know both defensive lines of those teams are really good. All you got to do is turn on the games and you see it. But that was such a remarkable difference that you guys improved from the A&M game, it seemed, to the Tennessee game. What do you attribute that to?
I think Eric Mateus honed in on some things that certainly a lot of our problems were mental more than physical. And so I think we honed in on exactly what Tennessee was going to try to do to us. And basically that's exactly what they did. They really didn't have a lot of new wrinkles for us. So, and then, I remember saying it several times, Bo, on the headset, just we're protecting him. We're doing a great job protection. We're doing a great job protection. And I'd go down to the O-line and just continue to praise their effort and what they were doing. But I think it was more so that we didn't make the mental mistakes that we had made earlier, and that Eric and the kids did a really good job of technique-wise and able to keep the ball long enough for Taylor not getting hit, and not that he didn't get hit the entire game, but I would say if you looked at our tape versus anybody who plays them, we probably did as good a job protecting our quarterback as anybody has that's played them so far.
Going over to the defensive side, Coach, and this kind of reverts back to something you were talking about a second ago when you talked about the staff getting back together on Sunday night. Coach T. Will, I know, had some ideas during your meeting last Sunday night about how you might best defend Tennessee. How much during that Sunday meeting, when the staff meets, as you will to watch LSU and Ole Miss, you've obviously got some plans in place, but how much of what you've seen maybe from the day before can alter or, maybe add some things to what you want to do this coming week?
Well, 100%. I mean, it's like anything, Chuck. If you see something and it continues to show on tape, in other words, someone's having success and it continues to show, and the other team hasn't adjusted on that, hasn't shown that they can, then you certainly, if it fits your schematics or if it fits your personnel, you want to try it as well. And that's kind of what happened with the Oklahoma. Now, they didn't shut them out. Tennessee had 25 points on Oklahoma, but that was by far the best anybody had played them. So you certainly, it's the same way with offense. There's some plays that you go, man, this fits us. This is schematically, can we put it in? Will it affect, can we put it in a week and have success with it? All those questions went last Sunday night as well. And so if we see something that we think could hurt LSU, that Ole Miss does, we would certainly look at it.
Coach, when you hired Travis Williams as your defensive coordinator, I remember him from UCF. We happened to be there doing a show for ESPN in Gus's first year there. And I felt like that was kind of a break for T. Will getting the DC job. Then he comes to Arkansas, and he wasn't really this big known commodity in college football. I would describe him as sort of developing and becoming the coach that we know him to be today. But what did you see, and how has that relationship gone, and how have you helped him evolve? Because he's getting all the headlines right now all over college football as people notice the job you guys are doing on defense.
Well, first of all, he's a great person, and so I knew I knew some things I was going to get right after an interview. Matter of fact, right after I interviewed him, I called Hunter and I said I found my guy. And but I knew that I was going to get a hardworking guy. I was going to get a wonderful man and family man. I knew I was going to get a recruiter. Anytime a guy becomes known as a recruiter, he also becomes known as a player's coach. And I knew that he could motivate the kids that he coached. I knew all those things. I also knew, just like you said, that he was young in the coordinator job, and that it might be a little bit of learning curve coming into the SEC. He was better than I thought that he would be, even, and I knew he was going to be good, but he was better the first year than I thought even he was going to be. And then I knew that if he could keep his staff together, if we could keep the staff around him, that we could be pretty good, because we could get the players in, because our staff on defense and offense, for that matter, but we're talking defensively, can recruit. They're all good men. They all work hard at recruiting. So I knew we could get the players in. And then this year, I just thought we'd be so much better, A, personnel-wise, and B, we've got another year in the SEC. And so far, it's come true.
The other hire, and obviously T-Will was a couple years ago, but the move you made in the offseason, I know we're 4-2, we're at the halfway point in terms of this conversation. This isn't a reflection on the entire season yet. But I just wonder, Coach, like, you go back to the offseason last year, and it'd be easy to just be negative and be down and wonder where the hope's coming from, and it just didn't end like you wanted it to. What brought Bobby Petrino to mind for you? And then beyond that, a second part of the question is just, what's this journey been like from that last game last season to all the moves that you've made to where you sit today?
Well, first of all, what brought Bobby to mind was his agent had texted me, and I wasn't thinking about him. And then when I got that text, I'm going, man, this guy's really good. He's been a head coach. I can, as a guy that I like to hire guys that's been head coaches, so I can talk to them about different decisions I have to make and back and forth there. So I go, man, this guy, and once I talked to him and felt his love for the University of Arkansas and that he really was passionate about coming back, then it was really a no-brainer for me. So that part of it was fairly easy, and it's been wonderful. The second thing, going back from last year, I think everybody gets a misconcept or misunderstanding about why I'm doing this job. I mean, it was, well, we got to fire the guy. He's horrible. This, it's never been personal. This is about my building. We have 70 employees in the building. This is about giving them opportunities to continue to work here, so we know we have to win. And it's about the kids and about, we should be one of the top universities in the country, and giving those, able to give those guys the feelings that they had Saturday night after the game that they deserve. It was always about that. And I think the negative part of the fans came out as against me, and that it never was about that. It was always about everybody else. And so that part of it's gratifying for the building. But I knew that Arkansas is a strong program, and I felt like we could get it turned around. And if you look in the history, at least recent history, it's been hard to do. And so that Saturday was gratifying in that aspect. Obviously, we've got to win a whole lot more games, but that was gratifying. And it's, I guess, to answer your question, hadn't been about me. It's about everybody else, and it's about the people that support the program in the state of Arkansas. And so that was really fun to see all that. I'm sorry about the $250,000 fine and all that kind of stuff, but
nobody's griping.
Sometimes that's just the way it goes, you know.
The fines need to go away. It's not stopping anybody. So we just need to get rid of the.
Well, you can't. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what you're supposed to. Right.
We might have could have stopped the Texas one because we were up 20 or whatever, and you could have made 100. Maybe, probably not. Probably couldn't have stopped that one either. The one the other night, it went down to the last play of the game. You know, we were not desperate, but we were hungry for a moment like that, and the guys, you couldn't have stopped that if you had a policeman at every little spot. You just couldn't have, and that's part of college football. I'm glad nobody got hurt or anything like that, but man, that's part of college football, and I know we've got to keep them off the field and all that, but how you do that, somebody needs to, tell us how to stop that, because I got out to the numbers, and hell, I couldn't go no further. And so I go, man, these guys are fast. We ought to recruit a few of these kids down here because they got on the field fast. And I'm going, wonder what that kid runs a 40 in, And so anyway, that was fun. I don't know how you stop it.
Man, that's memorable. And, Coach, when you took the job here, you said proud damn state. And that's the way everybody left the game on Saturday night. So congratulations.
Haven't we? Somehow we've made damn like and the, I don't know. It just flows out. I shouldn't say it. My mother was still alive. She'd be getting mad at me all the time, but we are that right there was, you're dang right. It was a proud damn state, and the fans deserved it. And hopefully, well, they'll be out for LSU too. Hopefully more than we're even here at Tennessee, and let's see roll it out there and let's see what happens.
Coach, we can't thank you enough for making time for us. Really appreciate it. We look forward to doing it again, and continued success to you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Coach.
You know how I feel about both of you. I appreciate it. I'm so happy that you launched this new radio show, and I guess all this other stuff. What's that? Y'all do? What do you call it? What do you call them things when you talk to people?
The Hog Pod
Not
podcast.
On the radio, but podcast.
Podcast online.
Podcast and all that stuff. But these are two great men I'm talking to, and I appreciate you guys more than you know. I do.
Well, we appreciate that, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, man. All right. Take care now.
Everybody.
All right. Have a good week.
Boy, it isn't winning great. You're winning so great.
You just feel it.
I mean, it takes care of everything. It just does. There's nothing in sports or pretty much anything else that winning won't fix.
It sure does. 877-377-6963. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, Flight by Yingling, the Fayetteville Auto Park, and Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric. It is 8:48 on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning. Bo, it's good to hear you back on the radio, man. I missed you in the afternoons, and you guys seem to be gelling right along. So it's good to hear both of you on morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, we understand the importance of those moments. That's why we offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary. Just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find the perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmer. And it's a great time to be a Razorback.
Embrace the hole!
Whether it's a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a grand slam.
Big Suey, they were doing all the stuff. I went in there to get something to eat, and they're cheering. I'm like, what is going on here?
We're here with the excitement and insight you crave.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now, you know.
It's the Razorback Daily from the team at Sport and Store.
That might be our best episode ever.
Available wherever you listen to your podcast each morning.
The tailgating scene on a perfect fall day in the natural state. Calling the Hogs with 75,000 plus as the Razorbacks run through the A. And all the things you love about football game days are near. Football season tickets are now on sale for marquee matchups against LSU, Ole Miss, and longtime rival and new SEC foe, Texas.
Slant, caught, touchdown, Arkansas.
Experience game day on the Hill and secure your seat and tailgating space by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com or by calling the Hogs at 800-982-HOGS.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forest Grin wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forest Grin has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forest Grin is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forest Grin is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forest Grin legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforestgrin.com. That's goforestgrin.com. Forest Grin Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Listen anywhere at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. And now, Chuck and Bo.
Thanks to the head hog, Sam Pitman, for joining us. If you missed it, he said Taylor Green, they hope he can practice next week. Still don't know if he's going to play against LSU. So that's
he sounded hopeful.
That's the long and short of it. He did sound hopeful.
It doesn't sound like it's one of these serious injuries that would have him out the rest of the year or anything like that.
But obviously, you know, if he's going to play next week, you want him to practice
right.
as much as he can. And it doesn't sound like this week he's going to be doing a whole lot. Sterling is going to get the final word. Sterling, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Sterling, you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fire away, man. We got a minute or so,
man.
so let it rip.
Up.
I was going to say thank you to Coach Pitman for putting it together. He said he's going to have a better team. I didn't believe him. I thought we'd be 2-4 at this time. Instead, we reversed and very easily could be 6-0. Amazing turnaround. Great job by the staff. Great job by the state. And it's time to get rid of that fine. And, you know, we're going to get rid of it in a time when we ain't going to need it no more. Because once we start winning on the regular, we ain't going to be storming the field like we do. But so it ain't going to do us no good, but still get rid of it.
Y'all guys have a great day.
I agree with that.
Okay, hey, we got one more. We got one more storm to come. And we beat number 1 Texas in November. Guys, have a great day.
All right, thanks.
Good work.
If they beat Texas, it's going to be hard to keep them off. But there is a point where it's like, and I'm not anti-field storming, but there is a point where it's like, well, maybe not tonight.
Yeah. it actually is a boss move.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
To do that. I don't blame anybody that got on the field. And it's like Coach said it well. I mean, it was a moment everybody was hungry for.
Oh, it was nobody should apologize for anything, nor should you have to pay a fine for having done it.
And if
it's
you haven't
ridiculous.
done it in 25 years, also that should play in, should it not? Like if you haven't had a moment like this in 25 years,
if you're a 50-year-old guy,
if
you're a 50-year-old guy and you can still rappel over the railing and run down onto the field without breaking a leg, that's a victory, man.
A lot of people were soaking in Epsom salt on Sunday.
I know they
weren't ready for that.
I'm aware of that part
move.
too. There's a lot of ibuprofen.
Travis Williams, Arkansas defensive coordinator, is on the show tomorrow. Follow us on social media at Chuck and Bo.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state. And you can add Flyway Brewing to the list. A craft